Hello there, fan friends, and welcome to this week's episode. We are excited to have you here, and we're excited to be back. We had a couple of weeks off where we had to take care of, you know what, some of that work stuff. That's okay, that's behind us now, at least for this week. And now we get to concentrate on something special today. I know you see behind you a trailer that's almost done. Not, but we're gonna get it done here pretty soon. Today we are going to, well, I'll give you an overview of what I've done. I haven't just been sitting around doing nothing but my regular job. I've actually added a few extra things here to our trailer that I'll show you. And we have a special thing happening today. What is it? Well, okay, I'll tell you. Today's episode, we are going to be adding our first interior finish work. What does that mean, Fur? Well, this week's episode, we're going to be adding our linoleum, no, not linoleum, our Marmolium flooring to this trailer. We have to add it at this time because everything else sits on top of it, our cabinets and everything else. And I want to thank my wife for helping me pick out the flooring color for our little camper. I wasn't sure about what I was going to use. I wanted to keep in the spirit of the 1940s and also make it versatile so that in the future the upholstery and the curtains can be changed out color-wise, but it won't affect the floor. But before we get to that floor, let me spin you around and show you inside the trailer and show you what I've done over the last 2 weeks. As you can see, I've reinstalled our partition wall. I put it back in place so that we could locate the spar for the top of it up here, which I'll show you in a minute. By reinstalling this wall, I was able to check our height over here in the sides, here and over here. And once we install our floor and remove the cardboard from below, this is going to sit nice and flush. So up here at the front of the trailer, I installed our center. I know last time I had them just cut, but I went ahead and I pocket screwed our center pieces. I added along the edge here and along the edge here, I added more blocking. I cut these other 3 pieces here, which will be a brace for right down there, and blocking on this side and blocking on this side. But before I can install these, this is why I need the finished floor to be in there, because these will rest right on top of our new Marmolium. Up here towards the front, I added this spar here. It's actually a little bit bigger than the others. The other spars are 1.5 by 1.5. This spar, which abuts up to our partition wall, it's actually a cut down 2x4. What I did was I went ahead and I pocketed it on each side here. And also before I did the pocket, I cut a bevel cut along here so that our partition wall lays flat against this. And then we'll be able to attach our partition wall to this, as well as the side walls and the floor. So it'll be a nice strong wall. So it's coming right along. So what's the next thing to do, Fur? Well, we're going to go ahead and remove our cardboard template down here on our floor. Remember we made that a couple of weeks ago? And this is another reason that I made this template, is because we can just lay our Marmolium out flat on the floor over here, lay our template over the top of it, and they'll fit perfect within the walls of our trailer. So let's go ahead and remove our cardboard template, and then we need to drill some holes from our wood floor into our steel frame, secure our wood floor down. Then we're going to get to the pretty installation of our Marmolium. The first thing we need to do is to go under our trailer and measure from our wheel well forward to make sure we miss any bolts that are already there, because we don't want to drill into another bolt. So I'll take a quick measurement under here. Looks like we have 6 inches from the edge of our wheel well here forward, and we'll miss all the bolts that are already existing. We'll measure 6 inches from here. We put our mark there. Now we'll just drill a hole. Now, having drilled our first hole, we need to go ahead and drill with our Forstner bit down into our plywood about 3/16 of an inch, because we want the head of this bolt to be flush or just a little below the finished surface of our plywood. That'll work just fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish drilling all the rest of the holes around our perimeter here, and then we'll go to our next step. There we go. So, all right, I have spent probably, an hour or so going around the edge, putting in these 2.5-inch long bolts. As you saw from the beginning, I drilled holes through the plywood down into the steel frame. So this floor is nice and solid and secured to our frame. We have a few little pieces that we're going to glue and screw with our exterior wood screws here. It just makes no sense to bolt that to the frame. So we'll just screw this piece of wood, and we'll screw and glue this piece of wood down to our wood frame, and it'll be just fine. All right, so we'll just add glue to our perimeter. Now that we got the nozzle all nice and cleaned out, glue flows a lot better when the nozzle's clear. And we'll put a little there. There. It's a nice, beautiful dollop of glue. I think that's the right term. So what we're going to want to do is use our countersink bit here and countersink into the wood, so that when we screw the screws down into the wood, then it'll actually go below the surface of our floor, which we want, because we want a nice smooth surface to put our tile down. So we're going to put one here. We're going to want to put one about here. And one back here. And now our last bolt to go in to our floor, and this thing is not going anywhere. So these last 3 bolts, I did go ahead and drill a hole through the wood, through the steel frame, and so this is all sandwiched nice together. There you have it. There is our floor, all screwed and glued down. Now what we need to do is go ahead and we'll just do a quick clean of it, and then we need to fill the holes. Well, apparently I didn't hit the record button, but as you can see through these little white spots on your screen that I'm just filling up the holes. I did find that our 2 holes up here, they need to be countersunk. So we'll go ahead and get our drill and we'll countersink those, and we'll go ahead and continue to fill up the rest of these holes. And then we're going to go to lunch and let these dry. Well, here it is. We have the floor all bolted down, screwed down. All the holes have been infilled. Now we're going to do just a very, very light wiping of the floor to get the fine dust off of it. And that, wait, do you hear that? That's a diesel. That's delivery. Look what I have here. This, my fur and the fan friends, is our new floor. No, not the column. It's inside of the column. Let's take a look at our new floor. It's a little heavier than I thought. The challenge you have here is how to get that roll out of that tube onto that floor, preferably in the trailer, to keep it clean. Okay, are you ready? Don't look at the color. Your eyes are still closed, right? Oh, that's a nice color. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, I really like that. Oh, you can't see the color? I think you'll like it. It reminds me of the 40s. Oh, folks, I think you're going to like this color. I like the color. Thanks to my wife, she helped me pick it out. I was going to go originally with something similar that was already in the 1940s trailer that we had before. It was kind of a yellowy, oh, it had oranges and reds and yellow and gold and stuff with little flecks in it. But what we decided to do here is go with a little more of a neutral color. That way we can pick up the colors that we want. We can pick up colors in the curtains and the cushions and whatever else. But as far as the floor, ready? Drum roll. Ready and boom. Although this looks a little bit green in the camera, it's not. It's actually a little bit of a gray. We'll take you in a little bit closer here. As you can see here, it's got a little bit of a marbly texture to it, just very slightly, like you would see back in the 1940s. Only this time we didn't go with a bold color. We went with a real simple color. It's similar to freshly poured concrete after it's dry. This color is called Fresco, and it's from a manufacturer called Forbo, and they manufacture Marmolium and other cool colors if you have needs for a retro looking floors. Now we need to let it relax just a little bit out of the tube, and then we're going to install it. The instructions told me to massage it, but all right, even though it's 1,000 degrees outside, I've decided to go ahead and have a helper help me take this Marmolium out to our patio where it's a lot cleaner than I think here in the shop to roll out, and then we will cut our piece out of the middle and then we'll lay it in the trailer here and let it kind of relax for a little while. And as soon as it's done relaxing and I massage it a little bit, then we'll go ahead and glue it in place. So as you can see, we've laid our Marmolium out on our patio outside because that's actually a lot cleaner than the shop floor. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take our cardboard template, lay it on top of that, and then go ahead and mark and cut out our piece of Marmolium. burned off and our outline has been traced onto our tile, we're going to go ahead and cut that out.
Now I'm wearing gloves and I put on a hat because the sun was beating down on my head and my hands were getting burned by every piece of metal that I touched. It was very hot this day, but we did what we had to do to get this new floor cut out.
Well, all right, fan friends, we have the Marmolium laid down on our floor. What we're going to do now is we're going to have a helper help us roll it halfway, and then we're going to lay down the glue, and then we're going to roll the Marmolium back into the glue and do the same thing on the other side. I'm not going to be talking through this because it's going to be a little bit challenging because, as you can see, I'm a little bit hot and sweaty from, I don't know, working on the surface of the sun. Just kidding. Anyway, let's go get to this glue. Let's see if we can get it to go. Line that corner right there by the willow. Okay, as you can see, we have one side already rolled, glued, and stuck down. So now what we did is we just took our Marmolium, rolled it the other way to about the halfway point. Now we're going to spread this side with the glue, and then we'll put the tile back on top of that and use our little roller to smash it down. The cool thing about little trailers is trying to install things in tight spots. It's so creamy, I feel like having maybe a cheesecake or something like that for dinner tonight. What do you think, helper? Can we have cheesecake?
Nope, no cheesecake.
No cheesecake for me. So, all right, fan friends, got this other half down. Now we're just using a roller to roll it out. Try to get it all done because it's pretty warm in here. And what we're trying to do is just push any bubbles that might be trapped below the surface. Just push them out. And just like that, we have a beautiful floor. So I'm going to be here a little while. Not long, but a little while. Pressing out the glue. I want to thank you for dropping in to Fur the Fan this week. And next week we're going to start doing some cabinetry on this little trailer. Have a great week. And if you liked it, go ahead and please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and be a subscriber. Have a great week, everybody.